I found God.
Shawn Michaels might have found God, but unfortunately, since his return in 2002, he only found one world title reign. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and we're here to ask the question, why did Shawn Michaels not have more title runs after coming back to the company, and did he deserve another title run after his last in 2002? So let's set the table. Shawn Michaels comes back from what we thought was a career-ending injury, or was it a career-ending smile? We'll never know. He comes back, has a great match with Triple H at SummerSlam, gets fucked in the back with a sledgehammer, comes back from that storyline-wise, wins the World Heavyweight Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. We're thinking, wow, Shawn Michaels is back. He's going to save the WWE from Triple H and the era of doom, really, the sledgehammer era of doom. And what happens? He gives the belt up a month later.
Yep, he loses it. 3 stages of hell at Armageddon. Always remember that spot with the barbed wire bat, 2x4 on fire, and then him crashing through tables. And it's just a shame that he lost it. I mean, he lost it in the ladder match as well. In the end.
Kind of Shawn Michaels. No, I wouldn't say it's a speciality, but it's a match you would favour him in over Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H in a ladder match just doesn't really work.
It doesn't really work. But we put up the option, did Shawn Michaels deserve another title run after his last in 2002? 74% of you guys say yes.
And before we get started, there's a lot of people that say, and we know this, right, we're not noobs at the wrestling game, that, yeah, he was a Christian, right, and he wanted to focus more on, like, his family and that shit, and that he didn't want to go to SmackDown, he didn't want to hold the belt, he didn't want to hog it. I get that, but we're looking at it solely, did he deserve one?
Yeah, 26% of you guys think no. Triple H laughing no. Okay, so we're talking nearly 3/4 think that Michaels did deserve another title reign. I 100% agree with this. I think I think he's the best wrestler of all time, for me. Kurt Angle, I would say, is a close second, but Kurt Angle is just not Shawn. Nobody's Shawn Michaels. I just think Shawn Michaels performed in a way that nobody else did. For me, he's the greatest to ever do it by far. And I think Kurt Angle's amazing, but I just don't see anyone coming close to Shawn Michaels in the ring as an overall performer. Not saying he's the best wrestler in ring, but in terms of performance, I mean, he was the showstopper. That's not just a nickname. It's not like today when you've got like Rollins and he'll give himself like 15 different fucking catchphrase nicknames. I mean, when Shawn Michaels called himself the showstopper, or when he called himself Mr. WrestleMania, those words actually meant something because they were true. And no one could take that. No one could say to Shawn Michaels, no, you don't have the best matches at WrestleMania, because every fucking year he proved that he was Mr. WrestleMania. He was the showstopper. Every time he put on a fucking show, he had the ability to stop it whenever he wanted, because the guy was so good in the ring. So I think he should have had another title reign, and we know that he didn't really want that, he didn't need that, but I'm still looking at the product, and I'm looking at a company standpoint. It would be different, I think, if he took a back seat and they were pushing other guys, and I can almost accept it towards the end of his career, him not beating Cena, you know, it makes sense. Him not ending Jericho's heel reign, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Him not beating Randy Orton with the title, I guess that stuff makes sense. But in 2002, when the alternative to a second Shawn Michaels title reign is basically Triple H just holding the belt hostage, then I just don't see why there wasn't another Shawn Michaels World Championship reign. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. I mean, I think it would add to the feud as well that they had in these years. Like, you always think of it as like, oh, they had some great matches back and forth, but Triple H essentially wins every single one after this. Oh, the Royal Rumble 2004 ends in a draw. But, I mean, if we're being honest, yes, Michaels beat him at SummerSlam, and then he beats him at Survivor Series, but see, after that, it's pretty much Triple H running riot.
True, but it's also Triple H was the heel, therefore he basically spent 2 years going up against faces. I think if Shawn Michaels is a champ, you get fresh matchups, and you can have a face Shawn Michaels taking on multiple heel opponents. I think it was a mistake. Like I said, if they decided in 2003 that they wanted to push other people into the world title slot and maybe give RVD a run and people like that, then I can almost understand it. I can understand it 100%, but not to give Shawn Michaels the belt just so Triple H can basically have it, I just don't really see the point in that.
Yeah, I mean, you need a face champion sometime. I mean, realistically, in these years, you didn't get it. I mean, Goldberg, that was it. And it's not like Goldberg held it long.
I mean, you look at all the opponents that Triple H had during his world title run in 2002 and then with Evolution. I'm just thinking that Shawn Michaels against those guys probably would have been a hell of a lot better. But anyway, 6 comments. Let's see what you guys think. I mean, I'm not bashing Triple H. I like Triple H. I know a lot of people don't really like Levesque, and I know Bret Hart is definitely one of those people.
Yeah, but you see, think of it, right?
I've always thought Triple H was pretty good.
I look at the guys Triple H beat, right? I look at Steiner, I look at Nash. I can totally understand why they didn't give them the belt, right? Booker T.
True, but I mean, Shawn Michaels, Steiner just is a lot more appealing than Steiner Triple H.
No, it is. I'm not denying that, but I just don't see why Michaels wouldn't have got the belt more. I don't.
Anyway, Chris Iyer Anderson said he turned down the title on SmackDown because of scheduling conflict that with his Bible studies / work. He didn't need the title at this point. He was already the best wrestler in WWE and guaranteed at least 4-star matches.
Well, Dave Meltzer say that?
Oh, alright. I mean, you can say he didn't need the title at this point because he was already the best wrestler, but I would argue the best wrestler should have the title, or else what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
I mean, I think overall the best wrestler, best talker, best performer should have the world title. Now, I'm not saying he has to hog it. I'm not saying that, but the guy should have had another run. There was no reason for him not to.
Yeah, like, you know, he lost a lot of title matches. It's not like Michaels came out every week and preached, here, I'm not here to win the title. I'm here to put on at least 4-star matches every week.
And when you look at it, it's a bit weird. With hindsight, you look back and you're thinking, holy shit, Shawn Michaels actually did get quite a lot of title shots and he just was never successful.
No, and if you look at all his other matches at Mania, for example, I mean, against Angle, he enters the Rumble looking to win a belt. The next year, he enters the Rumble looking to win a belt, but then the McMahons eliminate him. It's not every other feud that he has is due to, like, an attempt to win the belt. Or, like, with the streak, he's trying to end the streak. I mean, Mania 2008, it's about Flair. So, it's either, his matches were either about the belt, or, like, a personal vendetta, which wrestling should be about, not just the sake of a fucking match. Even the one against Jericho, that's against because he eliminated him from the Rumble and bloodied him for, like, 2 months.
Yeah, no, I think...
Like, when did Michaels just have a... Like, when was his storylines ever about just having good matches, though? He put on good matches to to show how good the feud was.
Maybe Angle, no.
Yeah, but there was still a feud there.
No, there was, I guess. I mean,
he eliminated him from the Rumble?
Anyway, Jesus Leva says Shawn didn't want another title run. He didn't even want to main event WrestleMania 23 because of the pressure. If you don't believe me, watch his WWE documentary because he literally prayed not to get it.
I don't believe you.
He didn't want to main event WrestleMania 23 because of the pressure. I think Shawn Michaels can handle the pressure.
Yeah.
This is not a guy that buckles under pressure. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here?
No, here.
Shawn Michaels was afraid of the pressure.
Yeah, you know, maybe he didn't want the match, but to say the pressure, I'm not gonna accept that.
I mean, if you mean pressure in terms of he didn't want, like, just the scheduling and maybe the spotlight and the media that comes with, and the extra amount of responsibility and work that comes with being in the main event of a WrestleMania, 100%. But let's not pretend it was some pressure and he didn't think he could handle it.
Because of course he could handle it.
Fucking Shawn Michaels could handle anything. Jacob Blicky said this should be a top comment, a comment with facts and evidence to back it up. I mean, not disputing this, but I think it definitely could be worded better, because when you say he didn't want to main event WrestleMania 23 because of the pressure, it kind of makes you feel, it kind of makes it sound like Shawn Michaels didn't believe he was capable of doing it, and that's not the case.
Yeah, of course he could.
Gorilla Whale says, if you listen to Michaels' backstage comments in the 90s, Michaels put a lot of pressure on himself as WWE champion, which is where half of his backstage attitude came from, which also failed his addictions. Failed? It does say failed, which explains why he didn't want to be a world champion again. Mega Colossus, but why, since all guys like Randy, Triple H, Cena, and Batista didn't find a problem with getting a title after the 2000s?
They didn't find Jesus.
They didn't find Jesus, I guess.
Every wrestler's different, though. I mean, let's be real. See, we wrap Triple H, Cena, and Orton, and I mean, Batista to a degree. The reason they held belts after the 2000s, and because there was no one else, really.
Because all they're entirely different people with different aspirations and goals. Look, I don't think... If Shawn Michaels is a totally different person in the 2000s, are you telling me that if Shawn Michaels was given the belt in 2003, he would have went back to his addictions? And he would have broke up his relationship with God?
No.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit.
He wouldn't have, man.
So Shawn Michaels would have turned back to fucking his addiction and alcohol and painkillers and all this shit. Shawn Michaels would have went back on the gear just because he had a title belt wrapped around him.
Would he have found his smile?
I mean, I'm just not buying that. I mean, you could argue, take belts and shit aside, you could argue the pressure was always on Shawn Michaels because he was always talked about as the best. Aye. So, I mean, with or without a belt, there's always going to be pressure on his shoulders.
He was always in the main event scene. There's going to be fucking pressure regardless.
If it was a pressure thing, then the guy would be like, put me on Sunday Night Heat.
Put me on Velocity.
Anyway, guys, that's it. I can accept he didn't want to have another title, and maybe that's commendable. I get that. But I think for the product, I think he should have definitely had another title reign. And I could maybe accept it if the 2002 one was good, but it was so short. It was a month. I mean, I'm just not having it. You got Randy Orton on 14 world titles, Triple H on 14, Cena on 16. Look at Charlotte fucking Flair having 14 world title reigns in a short space of time, yet Shawn Michaels couldn't get one long, meaningful title reign.
Disgrace.
Because apparently it would have put too much pressure on him and he would have went back on the drugs.
Come on,
Absolutely no chance.
No chance, guys. Laughing Triple
I mean,
H.
this guy could have had like a 6, 7, 8 month title reign. And think of all the guys that he could have beat and had matches with.
Phenomenal matches, guys. But let's laugh in Triple H and Big Nose. Yeah.
Peace.